Okay, we're on the fifth Tuesday. We talk about family. It was the first week in September, back to school week. And after 35 consecutive autumns, my old professor did not have a class waiting for him on a college campus. Boston was teeming with students, double parked on side streets, unloading trucks. And here was Maury in his study. It seemed wrong, like those football players who finally retire and have to face the first Sunday at home, watching on TV, thinking, I could still do that. I have learned from dealing with those players that it is the best time to leave them alone when their old seasons come back around. Don't say anything. But then, I didn't need to remind Maury of his dwindling time. For our taped conversations, we had switched from handheld microphones because it was too difficult now for Maury to hold anything long to the kind that clips to your collar that's popular with the TV news people. You can clip these on your collar or your lapel. Of course, since Maury only wore soft cotton shirts that hung loosely on his ever-shrinking frame, the microphone just sagged and flopped, and I had to reach over and adjust it frequently. Maury seemed to enjoy this because it brought me close to him, in hugging range, and his need for physical affection was stronger than ever. When I leaned in, I heard his wheezing breath and his weak coughing, and he smacked his lips often before he swallowed. Well, my dear friend, he said, what are we talking about today? How about family? Family. He mulled over it for a minute. Well, you see mine, right? All around me. He nodded to the photos on his bookshelves of Maury as a child with his grandmother, Maury as a young man with his brother David, Maury with his wife Charlotte, Maury with his two sons, Rob, a journalist in Tokyo, and John, a computer expert in Boston. I think in light of what we've been talking about all these weeks, family becomes even more important, he said. The fact is, there is no foundation, no secure ground upon which people may stand today if it isn't the family. It's become quite clear to me, as I've been sick. If you don't have the support and love and caring and concern that you get from a family, you don't have much at all. Love is so supremely important. As our great poet Auden said, love each other or perish. Love each other or perish. I wrote it down. Auden said that? Love each other or perish, Maury said. It's good, no? And it's so true. Without love, we are birds with broken wings. Say I was divorced or living alone or had no children. This disease, what I'm going through, would be so much harder. I'm not sure I could do it. Sure, people would come visit, friends, associates, but it's not the same as having someone who will not leave. It's not the same as having someone whom you know has an eye on you, is watching you the entire time. This is part of what family is all about, not just love, but letting others know there's someone who is watching out for them. It's what I missed so much when my mother died, what I call your spiritual security, knowing that your family will be there watching you. Nothing else will give you that. No money, not fame. He shot me a look. Not work, he added. Raising a family was one of those issues on my little list. Things you want to get right before it's too late. I told Maury about my generation's dilemma with having children, how we often saw them as tying us down, making us into these parent things that we did not want to be. I admitted to some of these emotions myself. Yet when I looked at Maury, I wondered if I were in his shoes about to die, and I had no family, no children, would it be so empty? He had raised his two sons to be loving and caring, and like Maury, they were not shy with their affection. Had he so desired, they would have stopped what they were doing to be with their father every minute of his final months. But that was not what he wanted. Do not stop your lives, he told them, otherwise this disease will have ruined 3 of us instead of just 1. In this way, even as he was dying, he showed respect for his children's worlds. Little wonder that when they sat with him, there was a waterfall of affection, lots of kisses and jokes, and crouching by the side of the bed holding hands. Whenever people ask me about having children or not having children, I never tell them what to do. Maury said now, looking at a photograph of his oldest son. I simply say there is no experience like having children. That's all. There's no substitute for it. You cannot do it with a friend. You cannot do it with a lover. If you want the experience of having complete responsibility for another human being and to learn how to love and bond in the deepest way, then you should have a child. So you would do it again? I asked. I glanced at the photo. Rob was kissing Maury on the forehead, and Maury was laughing with his eyes closed. Would I do it again? He said to me, looking surprised. Mitch, I would not have missed that experience for anything. Even though he swallowed and put the picture in his lap. Even though there is a painful price to pay, he said, because you're going to be leaving them. Because I'll be leaving them so soon. He pulled his lips together, closed his eyes, and I watched the first teardrop fall down the side of his cheeks. Okay, I'm going to stop there, and we're going to continue on page 94.